They say hospitals never sleep, but there's a difference between open 24/7 and awake. At 2:13 in the morning, the building isn't awake. It's listening. I was the only night tech on radiology. Just me, a humming CT, the soft hiss of oxygen down the hall, and the squeak of my shoes on waxed tile that sounded way too loud for how empty everything was. It should have felt safe. Sterile. Instead, the air felt like it had teeth. I noticed the cold first. The thermostat read 70, but a thin frost crawled through my sleeves and needled my forearms. The tiny hairs at the back of my neck rose as if pinched. I rubbed them down and told myself it was the doors. The ER is a revolving draft. Then the call light on Bay 4 flicked on. Bay 4 had been vacant since midnight. The tone chimed, 2 soft notes, and died. I waited for a nurse's footsteps, a joke over the intercom, anything human, nothing. Only the CT's fan, a steady breath-like whir, until even that seemed to drop a register like a throat clearing. I checked the monitor. Bay 4 pulsed a calm green call. I walked toward it, heartbeat getting louder in my ears, a bass drum inside a coat closet. "Night radiology," I said, because words are supposed to keep you anchored. "Can I help you?" Someone whispered, not quite through the speaker, more like inside the air near my cheek. It was a breath forming a word without permission. "Stay." I stopped where the light from the nurse's station ended and the hallway started thinking about being a tunnel. My sweat went cold. The call panel blinked to reset like it had never asked for me. That's when the gurney wheels squeaked. One long squeal from around the bend, then a stop. The kind of sound that says someone pushed too hard, then remembered how much they were carrying. I turned the corner. Bay 4's curtain hung open, bed made tight, rails up, but the little clipboard hook on the wall was swaying. No air moved. I told myself a story to stay sane. Night shift means glitches. Sensors hiccup, lights lie. We fix them, we clock out at 6:30, we pretend we're brave. But the whisper returned, closer. "Stay." My name floated in behind it, as if someone had put it on their tongue and let it melt. "Who's there?" I asked, hating how thin my voice sounded. My heartbeat punched harder, thud, thud, so loud I almost missed the soft scrape under the bed, like a hand with too many knuckles dragging a fingernail against tile. I crouched. The metal bed frame went icy beneath my palm. The space beneath the mattress was shadow, layered and thick but not empty. Something was there, stretching longer than the space allowed, joints flexing at angles my mind kept trying to round off. A face slid into view, not wrong like a wound. Wrong like a drawing someone copied without ever having seen a person, eyes a touch too high, mouth a touch too wide, teeth too many by one. "Stay," it breathed, and the syllable fogged the metal rail. I jerked back and immediately hit something solid. A figure stood in the doorway in a patient gown, no footsteps, just there. The gown hung wrong on shoulders too square, and the collarbone ridge sat a little too far to the left. The eyes were dull, then bright, then dull again, as if choosing a colour. I wanted to run, but my legs went stuttering soft. I didn't know why it had chosen me until my brain pulled a memory up by the hair. Last winter a call light had chimed while I was on a coffee run. An older man in Bay 9 had needed help. I told myself 2 minutes and came back in 10. He was fine. He lived. But the guilt had sat in me like a lost pin, small, sharp, constantly found by accident. I never apologized. I told myself it wasn't my job to confess to every slight lapse. I told myself I was tired. "Stay," the thing said again, patient, like a reminder about hand hygiene. The temperature dipped. Sweat slicked my spine under the scrubs. The hair on my arms bristled so hard it hurt. I could hear my heart over the air handling, my body announcing itself to the dark. "What do you want?" I managed. The figure in the doorway lifted its hand and pointed to the bedside call button. Its fingers were long by 1 knuckle each. "Answer," it whispered. "You will answer." The CT down the hall chirped, unprompted, like it was laughing. Every LED in the room brightened, dimmed, then held steady. "I'm sorry," I said. The words tasted like metal, like they'd been stored too long. About Bay 9, about the coffee, about all of it. My throat closed. I'm trying to be better." The thing under the bed retreated, bones clicking softly in reverse. The figure in the doorway lowered its arm. For a breath the air eased, filling my lungs like air instead of cold water. The call lights along the hall flicked red, one by one, like a string of Christmas sorrow. Every bay chimed twice. Panic sprinted up my ribs, but my hands moved faster than fear. I answered, I ran, I checked, I charted. Every room empty, every chime false. At 3:06, the lights all reset to green in a single sigh, as if whatever kept this place alive had decided I passed. The aquarium in the family lounge started burbling again. The CT hummed like a tired animal that forgave me. I told Neuro in the morning that our call panel was glitching. I told my friend in nursing that the 4th floor felt weird. She told me to take a vacation day before I burned out, and then asked if I'd started meditating like the flyers said. My brother told me on the phone that I'm dramatic at night and boring by day. Maybe they're right. But last night as I clocked in, I passed Bay 4 and brushed the call button on purpose. The LED blinked once, acknowledged, not alarmed. A breath of cold slid across my knuckles, not hostile, not friendly. A reminder. If you've ever worked a graveyard shift and felt the building wake up just for you, if you've ever heard a voice pressed into the air itself, tell me in the comments. We need to band together and find refuge, and please beware, don't ignore these visitors. I've seen what happens to people who pretend not to hear. It ends terribly. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and follow us for more bone-chilling chronicles. Join us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky for more if you dare.